Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. I bet you can guess what we're gonna do today. Yes, it's time to record another rock video. I'm gonna be sharing with you actually one of my favorite rocks of all time. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting story how I came upon this rock and how I work with it and just how much I love it. So this is Larvikite. Larvikite is part of the feldspar family. I think the feldspar family is probably one of my favorites because that's the family that labradorite belongs to and sunstone. And so those are two of my other favorite stones. And you can see already just by having them sit here how we've got the reflective bits. And that is a typical, gosh, what do I want to say? It's typical for the varieties that belong to the feldspar family. Let's put it that way. So I've got some varying, pieces here that I wanted to show you. The one that you're probably drawn to right away is probably this guy, since it is the largest piece that we have here. And this, I actually found this, there is a town that's about an hour away from us, and my girlfriend Leanne, she found this place, and it's an interesting shop because it's a scuba shop, but it's also a rock shop. So the married couple that own the business, they have an interest in lapidary and stones, but they also have an interest in scuba diving, and they actually take out tours on the Great Lakes. So they kind of combined those two loves into one business. So it's a really cool place to go. They sell a lot of slabs. So a slab, in case you're not familiar, a slab is when you take a rough rock like this one and you slice it. So it's a slice where it has the rough edging still on it, but so it's kind of like a coaster. Or you'll see a lot of agate wind chimes that are made out of slices. So you can purchase slices by the pound, and that's where I found this in a bin of slices. Isn't this gorgeous? And what I think is really interesting is that you can look at this, and this was obviously cut for countertop. So this is definite. This is I know that you can use this kind of rock for countertop. Isn't it gorgeous? Just the reflection that's coming off of it. I actually, when I went to stay in New Hampshire for my graduation it's been about 2 years ago now. The lady that I stayed with, she actually had labradorite in her shower. She had a seat in her shower, and she had shelves in her shower that were labradorite. So I know that you can use this type of materials for countertops and things like that. Of course, you just have to have a source that's large enough. So that's what this is. You can see it looks like it was broken. We've got a jagged end here, a broken off end here. So this surface right here is the only one that's actually polished and shiny and looking great. This has been sliced, but it still isn't polished, and neither is that side. And then of course there we've got the back. So that's just a cut piece that hasn't been polished. But I could not pass this up. But how I actually found Larvikite is this piece right here. I'd never heard of Larvikite at all. And I was in a store and saw this piece and was like, what on earth is that? So of course this would be considered a palm size piece. And I want to say that I paid about $15 to $20 for this. I picked it up and it just started vibrating in my hands immediately. And I said, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it, but I have to have it and it has to come home with me. So Larvikite got its name from the region in which it comes from, which is in Norway, and it's in an area known as Larvik. And I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing it correctly. I think I am. So that's how it got its name. As I said, it's part of the feldspar family. It's also sometimes known as black moonstone, although this is not a moonstone, but it's sometimes called a black moonstone. And I've also heard it referred to as a black labradorite as well, but I think I've heard it referred to as a black moonstone more often. So as I said, this is the first piece that I purchased, and unfortunately I don't yet have any Larvikite jewelry. It's kind of hard to find, but I have been able to piece together quite an interesting collection of shapes. I've been specifically looking for this stone in various forms so that I could do a video to show you guys, maybe introduce you to Larvikite if you've never heard of it. So as I showed this piece already, this is actually the most recent purchase that I've made. I wanted to have a raw piece to show, and so I found this last weekend. I only paid $7.50 for this, and I feel like that's an incredibly good price. So this is how you would find it in its natural state, and you can still pick up on all of the reflective bits that are in there. So I was speaking about jewelry. So I don't have any jewelry currently, but I'm hoping to have one as soon as I wire wrap this piece. I bought this at a rock show from a gentleman who sells all kinds of cabochons in different shapes, sizes, stones, and I only paid $8 for this particular piece, and I felt that that was like a really good price. And wire wrapping is something that I am interested in learning the skill. So I'm going to try my hand at it and we'll see what happens. If you're interested in the results, let me know. And as soon as I, dive in, I can show you the results. I have a design in mind that I want to try with it. I've been doing some research as far as watching some YouTube videos and such. And so I have one that I kind of want to try, and I will let you know when I'm done. And then here I just have a little tumbled stone. I used to carry the palm stone with me all the time, but when I started carrying a lot of rocks, it became my bag became really heavy. So I actually picked up this little guy as a way to have Larvikite with me, but not have reduce the weight in my purse, so to speak. I don't remember how much I paid for this one. I don't think it was more than $5 though, so that's kind of cute. So magically, how do I work with Larvikite? Well, given the fact that it's in that gray and black family, it's definitely a really good protection and grounding stone. So that's a really good way in which to work with Larvikite. It also stimulates inner visions and it enhances your psychic abilities. So if you're working on improving those types of things, then maybe you want to hold something like that in your hand. A tumbled stone would be really good for that kind of a thing, or even a point like this that you can actually, hold in your fist would be something that appeals to you. This is a super cute little point that I actually purchased from the woman who made it. And I want to say I only paid about $10 for this, which was a steal, I think, but really cute. I also work with it to repel negative energy. Again, that's kind of a quality from, you know, black stones in general. They're good for repelling negative energy. But the thing that I really, really, really love working with Larvikite at is patience. It teaches patience and it provides support in completing goals. And I was working on completing some things when I ran into this piece. And so in doing my research about the stone and in working with it and asking it how it wanted to work with me, it was the completion of goals and patience that really stood out for me in my relationship with this particular stone. And then, there we are. And of course, I love my spheres. So here's a gorgeous Larvikite sphere. Love this. So I mentioned that Larvikite is sometimes called a black labradorite. And so I wanted to include showing, let's see if I can get that in frame, showing these two. These are actually two of the elastic bracelets that you can purchase. Let's try to keep that in frame, Helen. Sorry about that. So one of these bracelets is labradorite and one of them is Larvikite. Can you tell which one is which? Let me try to bring that closer to the camera. There we go. Can we get a really good shot? Which one is the Larvikite? Well, actually, I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. This one. This one is the Larvikite, and this one is the labradorite. So I bought these two, and of course, we've had this discussion before. My big manly wrists are too big to wear something like this. Where am I at? Jeez Louise. See, I get the gaps. So I want to take these and unstring them and put them on memory wire, like I've done with other bracelets like that. And I just like memory wire better than this elastic stuff. So there you have it. Here's Larvikite. So my question to you is, did you know about Larvikite? Had you ever heard, seen, or purchased Larvikite? Let me know in the comments section. How do you work with Larvikite? Do you work with it in ways that I do not? I'd love to hear about that because, you know, we're always open to trying new things here at the channel. So yeah. There we go. Here is another rock video. I really like doing these for you guys. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Here's Larvikite. If you enjoyed this video or learned something from it, please give it a thumbs up. However that's supposed to go. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. It's that little red guy. Be sure to check out the show notes, as Kathy likes to call it, for all kinds of links to social media stuff, Instagram, things like that. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching this video. Thanks for hanging out for a bit with me, and thanks for walking the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.